Hello there, channel members, friends, and followers. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for tonight's show, and today we are continuing our flights in the Southern American continent. And today we're going to be flying to Rio de Janeiro. Thank you very much for, who was it? Waldemir? For correcting me on the ICO code for Rio de Janeiro. I want to welcome all of you guys to this live stream, and I want to welcome William Bennett for becoming a VVIP member here at the Q8 Pilot channel. Rand Cooley, my dear friend, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us as usual. We have with us today also Ferdinand Foster from Bangkok. Welcome aboard. Mohammed Ryan, welcome aboard, sir. Glad to have you with us. I will be sure to get back to you on your query on setting up your MSFS. We have also Jerry Jordan. Welcome aboard, my friend. Steph, good afternoon to you. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. And David, welcome, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Rakon, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Matkovic, welcome aboard. And glad to have you with us in this live stream today. Kel Nilsson from Denmark, welcome aboard, my friend Vio. And we have also Super Expert. Hello everyone, and welcome to this live stream. So today we're going to be continuing the South American flights, and we are in Brazil. We are flying LATAM Airlines today, service from Sierra Bravo Charlie Foxtrot to Sierra Bravo Romeo Juliet. Our flight is approximately 40 minutes today, and we will be cruising at 32,000 feet. It is currently 1800 hours Zulu time, 2100 hours local time here in Kuwait, where this live broadcast is being streamed to all of you around the world. Our flight is we're going to be cruising at 32,000 feet. And let me tell you that this is actually one of the most challenging approaches approaching Rio de Janeiro. We are going to be landing runway 20 left. The reason for the fact that this is a very challenging approach is the actual terrain around the airport is very mountainous, and the runway at the airport is an extremely short runway. So today there is a very big chance that we will go around maybe once, twice, I don't know. Hopefully we can land the plane safely from the first attempt, but this is something that is highly likely and very probable that there is going to be a go around. All right, let's hop into the cockpit of the Fenix A320, and this is a real world route for LATAM Airlines in Brazil, but the actual equipment for this flight is an Airbus A319, and today, of course, we are going to be flying the A320 to Rio. All right, we have with us also Artanks from London. Marhaba, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Clayton Dermot, welcome aboard, my friend. And thank you very much for your warm welcome for me in Brazil. This is probably my very first flight in Brazil in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So what we're going to do, folks, today is we're going to set up the fuel and balance, and then the ground equipment and all of that. We are going to set up the MCDU, prep the aircraft for departure. We are then going to review our departure charts, arrival charts, and then we'll be on our way. So let's go ahead and get things started. And the first thing we want to do is we want to go to import our SimBrief flight plan. So there we go, and the SimBrief flight plan is there. As you can see, the departure airport being Sierra Bravo Charlie Foxtrot to Sierra Bravo Romeo Juliet. Let's go to the ground services, and we are going to toggle the jetway. And everything here looks good to me. Let's go to mass and balance, and from the mass and balance we're going to load the aircraft. We're going to select instant just in the interest of time, and as you can see now we have the passengers, 162 passengers. That's a full load today, and we have 6.2 kilograms, so that's 6,200 kilos of fuel aboard this A320. And we don't need anything now here. We're going to go back and select the SimBrief flight plan. All right, perfect. And let's go ahead and import the SimBrief flight plan. I love the fact that everything integrates so well. And of course, we can also go to the Navigraph charts, confirm the export, proceed. And we can now go to... All right, well, what is it? Why is it complaining? All right, let's go to Navigraph charts like that. All right, and confirm. We're going to go to the route. So it is loading the map for us now. And as you can see, this is us right there. The departure, runway, and the arrival. We're going to set this here. All right, we'll just leave it for now. And we're going to go and start setting up the MCDU. Perfect. First thing we're going to go is we're going to go to the overhead panel. And we're going to turn on the batteries, battery 1 and battery 2. As you can see, the external power is available. And as it is the case with Airbus, we are going to begin our flows from bottom to top, left to right. So the first thing we are going to do, cruise supply is on, ground control is turned on. And this is basically, for those of you who do not know, the ground control activates the flight data recorder while we are on the ground. So, beg your pardon, the cockpit voice recorder. So it actually records everything while we're on the ground. And once the aircraft computers detect that the aircraft is moving, then it automatically shuts down ground control, because then the cockpit voice recorder of the plane starts recording. All right, so we are going to head here to the ADIRS. We're going to set the ADIRS to nav mode. And we're going to set this to STS. Put this on the first TTN7. That's okay. And we then go to the overhead panel here, again from bottom to top and left to right. That's the flow of the Airbus. We are going to arm the emergency lights and turn on the non-smoking and seatbelt signs, and the nav lights can go on as well. Before we turn on the APU, we can run the fire test here real quick. Perfect. Engine 1 fire test as well. Engine 2 fire test. And everything checks okay. Perfect. Anything we need to do here? Not at the current time. Everything looks good. And everything looks good here. Perfect. All right. Now we can start programming the MCDU. So we're going to come down here. First, we're going to go to the ATSU menu. And we are going to select AOC. We're going to go to the flight initialization, and we're going to do an init data request to fill in the flight information. And we give it just a little bit of a few seconds there. LATAM 3759er departing out of Sierra Bravo Charlie Foxtrot and arriving into Sierra Bravo Romeo Juliet, and the alternate is Sierra Bravo Golf Romeo. Approximately 53 minutes to our destination today, with, of course, the taxi time. And I want to welcome with us today Baron82. Welcome aboard, my friend. And we have Clayton. Welcome, my friend. We have also with us today Mats. Hello. Yes, Santos Dumont. That is correct. Amir Smith, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. All right. So we can go now back here, and we can do the weather. We can do a weather request, and we can do METAR. That's perfectly fine. And we are at Sierra Bravo Charlie Foxtrot. Enter that here, and we're going to go send. And then we're going to go to the messages. We still don't have the load sheet. That's all right. We're going to go back and go to the init page. And we're going to do an init request so that we populate the flight information. All right, we have everything here. Perfect. We can now come back to our flight plan here. And as you can see, we are going to be cruising at a final cruise altitude today of 32,000 feet. Cost index is 5. Let's go ahead and key in this information. But first, we're going to come over here. Flight number is Lima Alpha and 35. let's see, 3759. 3759. We enter that here. The cost index today is 5, and the cruise altitude is 32,000 feet. Perfect. We're going to go to the iris init and align on reference, and we confirm the alignment. Next, we're going to go to init page again, and we're going to go to the next page where we enter the zero fuel and the center of gravity, zero fuel. So we come back here, and we're going to select the mass and balance. As you can see, the zero fuel today is 60.7, so we can say 60.1. And so we do 60.1. Let me just do this here so you guys can see. Perfect. And the max zero fuel weight is 31.2%. 31.2. Perfect. And the fuel today is 6.3. Well, we'll round this to 6,300 and add another 100 kilos. So that's 6,400. So we're going to say 6.4. And 6.4 is now there. Of course, all the calculations will happen once we complete the flight plan. Wow Q8, I have a LATAM Boeing 787 Dreamliner I bought from AliExpress, an online shop, but I don't know if I do know the shop very well. Yes. Simulation Flow, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. All right, we can now go to the flight plan, and we are going to key in our flight plan. We can just scroll this down a little bit here. All right, and this is our departure. So we are departing runway 34 through the Iraqso 1 Alpha departure through to the Dijon transition, out of our SID to airway uniform Zulu 3 to the TOCAM transition into our star at Rio de Janeiro at the Asala 1 Charlie, and of course we're arriving at runway 20 left, which is we're going to make actually an interesting turn back to Rio and land on the runway. Very, very interesting approach, quite challenging. So let's go ahead and key in this information in our flight plan. All right, so we're going to go to flight plan. We're going to select our departure airport, and we are departing runway 34 left through the Iraqs 1 Alpha. So that is selected through the Dijon transition, and we can say now insert, and we have all the information here. Perfect. And then we're going to select our arrival airport. So we're going to select the, let's see here, RNAV. Let's see, this is 20 left. We want to, this is 20. Let me see here. RNAV W, RNAV G20 left, RNAV D. That's the one I want, the RNAV D. And we are doing this through the Asala 1 Charlie, Asala 1 Charlie, which is this one here. Perfect. And it's the TOCAM transition, as we've seen in the flight plan. And then we're going to insert that. Perfect. What we can do now is first let's look over our flight plan, make sure there are no discontinuities. As you can see, the top of climb is immediately followed by top of descent. So things will happen very, very quickly in this flight. And let's see here. Let's just make sure there are no discontinuities. And this is the VOR station. And then RJ316, decel, 74. And then it is it's a manual. So this is actually the go round. If we perform a go round, this is the airway that we will take in order to go to the holding point. Oh no, beg your pardon. It's manual here, and then that's that would be the final fix before we reach the airport. All right. So everything is set up now, and what we can do is go to our flight plan, take a look at what this looks like here. So we're going to zoom in. We're going to switch this to plan, And this is, as you can see, this is our departure. And let me just do this. All right, let me do one thing here so you guys can follow with me. All right, so we are going to step through the flight plan just to kind of make sure there isn't anything funny. And this is the top of climb, and then followed by the top of descent. And then we go here. This is the Sierra Charlie Romeo VOR. And this is going to be across the sea, and this is all right. So this is the end of our flight plan here, RJ948, and that is that. After that fix is going to be manual, and we're going to need to consult our charts to understand what we need to do after RJ948. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. While we leave this here, let's go to our Navigraph charts. And let's see here. All right. And we're going to go to the charts. The departure is uneventful, so we're going to leave the departure alone now. And we're going to go to the arrival. And this is our arrival here at Santos Dumont at Rio de Janeiro. And we're going to select the arrival. And let's go to the approach. The approach is... let's see, RNP 2020 left. I think we selected D, 20D. Let's see here if we can locate it. RNAV GNSC, runway 02 right visual. That's 02, 02, that's 20. No, that's 20 left. All right. And let's see here, 20 and 20 left. That's the one there. All right, so that is our approach. And if we look here at our approach, this is the RJ948, as you can see here. All right, so this is the final fix that we have here. And it says that the maximum speed at this specific fix needs to be at maximum of 160 knots. Then we're going to make this turn to land here at the runway 20 left. And what it says here for the missed approach, which is, by the way, very likely that we're going to we're going to go around because it's a very, very difficult approach into Rio de Janeiro. We need to climb to 4,000. Turn left direct RJ942, turn right on course 149 degrees up to RJ943. Turn right on course 160 up to the RJ249er holding. Okay, perfect. And then on the final approach, we need to be at 140 knots tops. So it says here, if you look here, it says RNP approach, says GNSS required, maximum 160 on final approach and visual trajectories. And then 140 knots when we have the runway in sight. And the final approach course, 207 degrees for our RNAV approach. And the initial approach altitude is 2,400 feet. All right, perfect. So we know what we need to do now. And what we'll do is go back to the performance page and set up our performance. And if we look here, I keep getting these beeps on my phone. So let me mute that. Perfect. All right. So we can sync the load sheet, and the packs are going to be on for departure. And Hamid, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Glad you could join us. And we have also, is it Nata, Mr. Nata from Brazil. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to say your first name. So my apologies for that. Not only I have way more scale planes. Okay, here's one Air New Zealand, Boeing 777 Air Canada. Oh, that's cool. Are you a collector, Jerry? Do you collect these? You know, do you have a hobby of collecting them? Because I do have a partnership with the Midwest Model Store, and you get a discount with the Q8 Pilot discount code for some really excellent aircraft models. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I do too, by the way. All right, let me remove this now here. All right, so we have everything synced up and we're ready to calculate. So now we calculate and we will get a V1 147, V rotate 147, V2 149. Perfect. Two flaps 2 down 2.2. All right, so we're going to go now to the performance page. Flight plan all looks good, so we're going to go to performance 147 and 147. And all right, let's clear that. All right, so 147 and 149. Perfect. Flaps 2 and down 0.2. We enter that here. Flex temperature today is 59 degrees. 59 is selected. And now if we go to the init page and go to the next page, as you can see, we have the trip time, the reserve, the RTE reserve, so the route reserve, and everything. Of course, we don't have an alternate airport, so you will not get that information here. There's one more thing that I'd like to do is if we go to our flight plan, and if I scroll down all the way to, let's see here. So this is our flight plan. And RJ, what was our last fix? Now, let me go back to the Navigraph charts real quick. All right, so we at RJ948, okay, RJ948. Let's scroll down here, and we should have it, RJ948. All right, so that's RJ948. It's the last one we can see in our plan. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to select it. I'm going to go to the fix information, and we're going to enter RJ948. So RJ948, and I'm going to create a 10 nautical mile radius. So this is again for situational awareness. This is exactly, guys, what I do in I think it did not create a radius though. Radius, let's put 10 nautical miles. I think we need to put it here. All right, there we go. Yeah, now we can see there's the 10 nautical mile radius there. As you can see here, let me zoom out. There, you can see now that we have the 10 nautical mile radius here on the last waypoint before we make our turn to intercept, or to actually turn towards the runway. There is really nothing to intercept. It's going to be pretty much visual. So hopefully things will look good as we arrive into our destination. All right, flight plan is now complete. We are good to go, and we can now start the APU, and we'll be out of our position in just a few. Let's turn on the APU master. We give it just a little bit of time for the flap door to open, and then we're going to go to start. And now you'll see the APU EGT rising, as you can see right down here. Right, you can see now everything is coming to life here. Perfect. Elaine, hello my friend, good day to you. All right, so perfect. We have here everything. We're going to set this to 10 for the initial departure. Let's set our altitude to the final cruise altitude today of 32,000 feet. 32,000 is set. And we can also set to the altimeter 1015. All right, let's go ahead and turn on our beacon lights. And we're going to turn on the fuel tanks now. Right, fuel tanks, APU is available, APU bleed is on, external power goes off, and we can now go to the ground equipment right here and remove the, I think the jetway must have been already removed. Yeah, jetway is gone. And by the way, if you guys are interested in the scenery, there's it looks like an aircraft. I'm sure he's landing or just arrived. If you are interested in any of the scenery or the aircraft, of course, it is available through chat command, !DEP, !AR, !aircraft, or check the actual stream video description. You should be able to find the links to all the scenery used in this live stream. Perfect. All right, so the APU is on. Everything is good here. Let's go ahead and remove the ground equipment. GPU is no longer needed. Chocks and cons are removed. And now we can go to the connect to the tug and begin the pushback. So let's connect the tug. Beautiful sounds on the Fenix. I really like the sounds. By the way, this scenery is not exactly brilliant, but it does the job. It's better than default. I do like it. Easy on performance, and it's quite accurate in terms of the ground markings. The main buildings are okay, but not so much in terms of details. But it looks okay. All right, looks like the tug is in position, and we are going to release the parking brake and begin the pushback. So let's start. All right, here we go. And we have clearance to start engine number 2. Start. Engine number 2 is now starting. Begin our turn. What a beautiful aircraft by Fenix Simulations. By the way, I just upgraded to the latest NVIDIA driver, and if you guys are not sure, it is by far the best driver for Microsoft Flight Simulator to date. At least that's been my experience. All right, and now we can go and start engine number 1. Engine number 1 starting. Perfect. We can now stop the pushback. Right, pushback is complete. Let's set the parking brake. Parking brake is set, and we can now remove the tug. Excellent. And we have the engine number 1 now starting. How long have been a pilot? Who, myself? Greetings, Q8 from my office cube in Texas. Welcome aboard, Chris. Glad to have you with us, my friend. All right, looks like we have a good start on both engines now. All right, perfect. Let's head down here, and we are going to put the transponder on TARA, and we are going to turn the weather, although it's not going to do much, but we're going to have it on anyway. And we have a good start on both engines, so the APU bleed off, APU master off, engine mode selector to normal, and we can now turn on the runway turn off lights, nose light to taxi, and everything else is in tip-top shape. All right, perfect. And we're going to do the flight control check. Pull up, pull down, pull left, pull right, neutral, pedal, pull left, pull right, neutral. All right, and we are now ready to go. We are going to put the auto brake on max, and we're going to arm the speed brake, flaps 2 for departure, and we're going to set the trim to 0.2 down. That's right about there. And now we're good to go. All right, parking brake released, and let's taxi to the runway. Give it a little bit of power here, and we're good to go. Just look at that view, folks. What a beautiful looking aircraft. Beautiful rendition by Fenix Simulations, really, of the A320. Exceptionally well-made aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Again, if you guys are interested in purchasing this aircraft, the link is provided both in the description and through chat command !aircraft. Alright, and we can now perform the takeoff configuration test, and we have no blues. We're good to go. Really, I'm very pleased with the new NVIDIA driver. It's very smooth. I haven't really noticed, more FPS, but it's definitely a lot smoother than the previous driver. And no issues with with stuttering or anything like that. Very, very smooth experience. Bastian. Hello, my friend. We are in Brazil indeed, and we are heading to Rio de Janeiro. And I hope that we can, on first attempt, butter the landing at runway 20 left, but we'll see. We'll see what happens as we approach our destination. It's a bit of a long taxi to the runway. And by the way, all the AI traffic that you see today is that of Alpha India Group. If you are interested in it, just search for AIG traffic, and you'll be able to find it. There are a few tutorials as well on YouTube to help you with it. Some are very long, and those are the kind of tutorials I avoid. But there is actually a very short tutorial to the point where it takes you, I think, about 15 minutes or so, takes you through exactly what you need to do to make it happen. Looks like there is an aircraft coming for landing, or I'm not sure if he's just flying by the airport. Bit of a long taxi there. Dr. Ardenis, welcome aboard, my friend. Matthew Johannesson, welcome aboard. You are just in time, my friend. It's my JSR A320 and KLM 747. Oh, I gotta love those. Are they Gemini models, Jerry? They've got some of the best models, Gemini aircraft, and I like the bigger scale models as well. I think they're just fantastic. They're a bit pricey, but, you know, pretty good. All right, we're approaching the departure runway here, and we are going to make our turn for runway 34. There comes the turn. Slow down a little bit. You can turn on the landing lights are on, takeoff, strobe, wing lights are on, and we are good. Just look at that, just beautiful. And that's runway 34, ladies and gentlemen. We are cleared for takeoff. One question and one thing, the A315 said looked just like the same because of the nose. Now, the thing is, the A320 looks somehow longer. Yep, that could be... I mean, I don't know. I haven't really noticed that. I haven't really paid that much attention. I think next month got MSFS, my Alienware burnout. Oh, sorry about that. All right, we're coming up to the runway now. I really like the Fenix a lot. Let's go ahead and start the clock. I really like the Fenix A320. I think it's an incredibly accurate and detailed aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Only second to PMDG in my view. Right, here is runway 34. And we are lining up now for takeoff. All right, parking brakes set. All right, I'm holding the brakes. We're going to take this to 50% of N1. Stable. Come on. Goes in one. All right, now we have it right. All right, perfect. 100 knots checked. V1. Rotate. What a beautiful departure. Brilliant. All right, let's see what we're doing here. All right, we're doing okay. Let's set climb thrust. And thrust climb is set. Speed check, flaps 1. Speed check, flaps up. Autopilot 1 engaged. check this out. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. And back in the cockpit, as you can see, we have reached the transition altitude. So we are going to set the barrel reference to standard on both sides. We can now disarm the spoilers. And let's see, our altitude, almost 10,000 feet. So we can turn off the landing lights. And we can also turn off the nose lights, runway turn-off lights, and the wing lights. And we are going to set the seatbelt sign to the off position. And that's it. The after takeoff checklist is complete. And we are looking good. You're Virtuoso. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Pretty cloudy here. Let's go ahead and turn on the wing and engine NTIs. Just to make sure we don't catch any ice on the aircraft wings. Really a sensational view here from the 320 cockpit. I love the cloud smoothing in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Speaking of cloud smoothing, I have seen some video footage of X-Plane 12, and my word, they have really revamped X-Plane 12. It looks absolutely fantastic. Just really, I can't wait to stream it live for you guys here on the channel. But yeah, it definitely is a huge improvement from the previous, from X-Plane 11. Definitely, the lighting is sensational, Rand, without a doubt. Denise, hello my friend. Is this is actually MSFS? This is Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I think your question is testimony to you know, to the fidelity of X-Plane as well. Do you know what does little things at the end of the wings on the Boeing and Airbus? Because I know I think it's to do with the airflow. But maybe a lot in the chat. Maybe you can let us know what, you know. That's as much as I know. It's just something with the airflow. But please, by all means, just share it with us in chat. Mr. Martinez, good afternoon to you. I am definitely in your area, my friend. Mertoya, welcome aboard, my friend. Any release date? Hello, my friend. I do not have a release date, but probably in 20 days or so. Sharklets on the Airbus and the Boeing winglets. Yep. Alright, I think we can just start. Let's take a look at the scenery here as we depart. Fantastic. And by the way, I do have the Orbex South American mesh for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, by the way, for those of you who are unfamiliar with these terms, the mesh does not have any buildings or any trees. It's more of the terrain, the coloring of the terrain is something you can see in the mesh. You know, if you have, for example, an area like this, see this here, this road, and the scattering of the trees, that's what the mesh will do. But it will not add any buildings, for example, to your, you know, to the scenery. So for that reason, it's actually, it does not affect the performance whatsoever. Clayton, below you is the city of Belo. Oh, very nice. Yeah. I'm so glad, you know, that you guys are here to give us a tour of where we're going, because I obviously don't have a clue about this area, but I can tell you one thing. I can tell you it looks absolutely sensational from this altitude. It's really, really nice. And Brazil is a huge country. I haven't been to Brazil myself, but my dad has been to Brazil back in the days. What just beautiful scene here as we continue our climb to 32,000 feet, which is the final cruise altitude for our flight today. All right, I think we can remove the engine NTIs now. Looks like there's a company message. I think it's the data sheet. If we go, not the MCDU, no, but yeah, all right. Now we can go here, and we can go to the AOC menu, received messages. We have both the weather, so let's go to the load sheet first. We should have done this in the beginning, but we can also go to the weather data, and if we click on the weather data, as you can see, we have the METAR for the requested airport. That was our departure airport. And yeah, everything is so well developed, very, very, you know, clean finish. Everything's been tested properly, and great integration with third-party add-ons to really enhance your flying experience with the Fenix simulation Airbus A320. Lovely aircraft. 16,432. Aren't you overspeeding? I don't think that I'm overspeeding, but we might have at some point. I think we're fine in terms of the speed. We never got any warnings or anything like that, so I think we're good. There you go. EBOS reduces wingtip turbulence. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. We can come to the other side here, and we are going to select, let's see, terrain on ND. I will leave it. This one is on weather, but actually we can turn it here as well, since we don't really have weather. That's something probably that will be implemented in the next version, or the update, since the SDK allows integration of weather now. Lucas Augusto, welcome aboard, my friend. The map for SBRJ's runway 02R is challenging. Well, I think all of the arrivals are very challenging into Rio de Janeiro. It's just a challenging airport to land at, and yeah, I haven't really tested the full flight, but I practiced the approach a little bit, just in order for me to be able to do the stream. And I tell you, it was very, very challenging. I was able to land the two times I've done the approach. One time I did it on 03, and the other test was on 20 left. I was able to do a couple of them successfully, but one of them I actually overshot the runway by just a little bit. I was coming in a little too fast. It's quite a challenging approach, without a doubt. And we are going to, once we set up our destination information, we will then switch this to the Navigraph charts, so we can see exactly what we're doing as we approach our destination. Land was from Chile, TAM from Brazil. Gotcha. What's longer, the A380 or 7478? I believe it's the A380. It is the largest commercial jet in the world today. I'm not sure about the 7478i or the cargo variant. LATAM is kind of a South American company. Yeah, I believe the A380 is bigger. It's huge. I mean, the wingspan of the A380 is huge. And when you just see the aircraft in airports, it's just a gigantic aircraft. I remember seeing. I was once waiting at Milan Airport in Italy, waiting for a connecting flight aboard. I believe I was on a 777-300ER by Emirates, and I was heading back home. And on the gate, from the business class lounge, you are able to see all the aircraft parked at the gate. And it was a very rare occurrence where I was able to see, you know, a 777 Emirates 777-300ER next to an Emirates A380 parked there. And goodness gracious, the A380 is just a huge aircraft, incredibly huge. But I love looking at the 777 engines. I think the best part of the 777 is the wing and the engines. They look just fantastic. All right, 25,000 for 32. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the wing views. There we go. Just look at that wing. Just beautifully textured. And by the way, I have this like on the performance setting, so the textures are actually a lot better than this. But this is on the performance because I get the best performance in the A320, Fenix A320, when it's the setting is set on performance. Just look at the again the reflection. You can look at the details here on the wing. Just really fantastic looking aircraft. Here's a look at the outside. Oh, is it? The 7478 are 3.6 meters longer. Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's good information. Hey, Steve, what's up? How are you doing today? I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. Oh, they have the longer wingspan. I see. Alright, so guys, if we look here at the display, you will immediately see that this is the top of climb and this is top of descent. So as soon as we hit the top of climb, we're going to enter the information. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to start entering the information for the top of descent now. So we are going to go to performance. We're going to go to the next phase and next phase. There we go. And now we need the arrival information. So the nice thing again about the Fenix is the integration with you can simply just go to the weather briefing. I love how they've done this here. You can just click on the tab, it takes you directly to the information. And if you look here, you should be able to find the weather information for our destination. And this is our destination here, Sierra Bravo Romeo Juliet, or Rio de Janeiro. And we look here and we have the altimeter set at 1006. So 1006 and the temperature is 24 Celsius. Right? So by the way, this is where I'm looking here. All right, you can see that 323 knots. So the winds are calm. Is it 323? Yeah, 320 and 3, 320 and 3. And we enter that here, and we're pretty much good. There we go. So that's top of climb, and then top of descent immediately after that. And if we look at the rest of the METAR, as you can see here, few 3,000, overcast at 1,000, 24 Celsius, QNH 1006, and this is the weather at our destination airport, just in case. Cloud and visibility okay. So a few clouds here, but we should be fine. I think we should be able to land. So it should. The wind is not violent or anything like that. Very slight wind as we arrive into our destination airport today. And now we are cruising at 32,000 feet, ladies and gentlemen, which is our cruise altitude. And we have with us Qutayba Arif. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us on this live stream. All right. So let's see here. All right, if we go to the flight plan, this is actually now top of descent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the MCP altitude to 2,500. And we're going to begin the descent. There we go. And we just begun the descent now towards our destination airport. I'm going to extend the speed brakes a little bit to help reduce the speed. As you can see, a very short flight into Rio de Janeiro, but it should be very interesting as we approach our destination. Do you know the 225 Emirates? No, I didn't know that. Dwayne, welcome aboard, my friend. Good evening to you. 24 degrees. You call that warm? Dwayne, come on. I wish we had 24 degrees here in Kuwait. It was 46 Celsius today in Kuwait. Very, very hot day. Extremely hot. In fact, the hottest day is going to be tomorrow. And then the temperatures will begin to, cool down a little bit. By the way, cooling down means it's going to go down to 40s. But yeah, the weather has been extremely hot this summer in Kuwait. Yeah, Dwayne, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been really very, very hot this summer. We've had a week of humidity where the relative humidity was in excess of 90%, and with the really hot weather, it was simply unbearable. It was really, really hot. Whoa, whoa, what's going on there? Jeez. Looks like there was a pack of air there that kind of flew us in all sorts of directions. All right, let's switch the let's switch this to Navigraph. And what we're going to do, so this is our approach, so we're going to leave it here. I'm going to zoom it out just a little bit, and once we arrive there we should be able to see the little icon showing us on the display here. So we're just going to leave it here. Looks like AIG traffic just failed on us. That's okay. No worries at all. Sure what's going on. Alright, well, there we go. Alright, now we fixed the view. We have everything showing. Perfect. Alright. Humidity makes you want to jump off an airplane with no parachute. Absolutely. MSFS weather engine making some funny jokes. Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing. Absolutely, absolutely. We have, ladies and gentlemen, a new subscriber here at the Q8 Pilot channel, Mr. Abdul Rahim Adar. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you as part of the Q8 Pilot family. Q8, will you have time for another flight? There is a huge thunderstorm in the south of Brazil. A flight would be interesting. Suggestion, SBST to SBFL. I'm not sure if I'm going to have more time. It is now 10 p.m. Kuwait local time. So, and I do have to go to work in the morning. So it might be a little difficult to do another flight today. But I'll make a note of your suggestion there, and I will consider it for a future flight. And by the way, the next flight is also more than likely going to be in South America, unless there is a new add-on. I am waiting. Just Flight contacted me regarding the analog King Air, which appears to be in the final stages now before release. So we should be able to take a look at the aircraft in the coming week or so. And I really can't wait to put my hands on it, because the King Air is an aircraft that I really like a lot. It's one of my favorite GA aircraft. What's the temperature over your way? Right now, I'll give you the temperature in Kuwait. Right now, in my location. So according to my phone, the current temperature at 10 p.m. is 41 Celsius right now. 41 Celsius is the temperature. The high today has been 46, and the lowest, the low is 35, but it feels like 42, and it's 41 right now, and it's 10 p.m. Imagine that. Yeah. So very, very hot indeed. All right, we are now approaching our destination, and what beautiful terrain over in Brazil, ladies and gentlemen. Really a nice scenery all around in the South American continent. Just look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. By the way, just a quick thought on X-Plane, and just by hearing what Austin Myers had to say in the last presentation, and also watching his interview with Orbex through the Flight Simulation Association interview, it appears to me that X-Plane 12 is going to focus even more on the flight model. So the flight model is going to be far more accurate than its predecessor, which is X-Plane 11. In fact, X-Plane 12 is FAA certified for flight training, and what I think is going to happen or the business model for Laminar is going to be, of course, it's going to be available to the mass market. It's going to be available for flight simmers. But I think their bread and butter, or business, their primary business is going to be for, you know, commercial purposes. So basically for training. And I was dazzled when I heard Myers speaking of the you know, the amphibious aircraft. So it looks like it's going to be extremely accurate. And he said, you know, quote unquote, and with a little bit of modifications because I can't recall exactly what he said, but the spirit of what he said is that we are going to develop the flight model in accordance with real life, not how you guys like it. So, and that is a strong statement from Myers, you know, to the credits of X-Plane 11 or X-Plane 12 being a far more accurate flight sim platform, Wayne, compared to anything else available on the market today. So everyone makes sure. Let's see here. Dwayne, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. Speed check. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. There is a specific training for pilots to land. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because it's not an easy approach. It's a very, very difficult approach. So now, by the way, you can see here, if I zoom in, all right, you can see this is the 10 nautical mile range that I've created. And right after this last fix is the turn towards the airport. So we're actually pretty close now. We are at 14,000. I'm going to go ahead and remove the terrain on ND so we can take a better look at what's going on here. And we're going to switch this to about 40 nautical mile range. And let's take a look here at some nice wing views. Just look at that. Beautiful wing flex. You can see all the scratches on the passenger window here. Lovely. Just look at that wing flex. Just beautiful. Well, it looks like we're going to enter an area of cloud, and as soon as we're into the clouds, I will more than likely turn on the anti-icing just to make sure that we don't collect any ice before our landing. It is definitely a wonderful view. We have Pilot Z from Turkey. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening. The approach in Rio is one of the most beautiful and hardest in the world. I totally agree with you there on that account. It is definitely very, very hard, and it requires some skill and some training to land. I don't think all pilots are certified to land at Rio with jetliners. I'm sure that there is specific certification required before pilots can fly in and out of that airport. It's this extremely short runway, very, very tricky. And just imagine as you come into land with a lot of turbulence there because of the mountains surrounding the airport. Guys, I think it's best that we turn on the anti-icing at this point as we go through these clouds. The last thing you want is accumulation of ice right before our landing. We are approaching 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn on the landing lights. Alright, landing lights are on, and we can also put the nose on takeoff. Runway turn-off lights are on, and the wing lights are on, and we are now good. We're almost there, 10,000 feet. We're looking good. By the way, guys, is the stream smooth for you guys? I don't have any problems with the sim, but I have this stream playing on my PC, and I'm seeing some jitters there, and I'm just wondering if it's okay for you guys, or is it just on my end? Alright, thank you very much, Ran. Appreciate it. Must be just me then. And ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Bernardo Salazar. Bernardo Salazar, for becoming a subscriber here of the Q8 Pilot channel. Welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you for your support, and thank you for becoming a subscriber. It looks like there is some heavy rain in where we are flying right now, as you can see. So it was a good idea we turned on the anti-icing on, and it looks like it's going to be a bit of a rough arrival, but I couldn't see anything I couldn't see anything unusual as far as our approach. So it looks like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of rain where we are right now. So let me just turn on the lights here. And right there. Perfect. These lights are on. And everything here is on. Okay, perfect. As smooth as an ice skater on ice. Perfect. Only so one instance of frame delay early on just after takeoff. Oh, okay. I'm West Coast Canada. All is good. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. So, unfortunately, we can't see much right now, but this specific area of Brazil, as we approach Rio de Janeiro, is very, very beautiful. The approach is incredibly, you know, beautiful and just looks really phenomenal. Unfortunately, we are now caught by all these clouds and this really heavy rain, so we can't really see much as you can see here. Very thick clouds, which prevents visibility altogether. That's the terrain there. You can see this is the... And by the way, this is, if I increase the range, this is what we're going to be doing. And hopefully we'll land without incident. Alright, Barra centered 7,000 feet in Brazil. Alright, there we go. And on this side as well. And the current 1015 is set. So what are your predictions, guys? Do you think we're going to butter this landing, or do you think we are going to go around at first attempt? Just kind of your predictions, and let's see if and we have also both Dennis Live, welcome aboard to the Q8 Pilot channel, and Nightel991, welcome aboard. Howard Hood, I hope I can live up to your expectations, my friend. Now we begin our turn. So all the excitement is going to begin once we approach once we approach the circumference of this circle here, which is the 10 nautical mile range, and things are going to get really interesting very, very quickly. Alright, so let's see, this is the weather information at Rio de Janeiro, broken 50. Oh, look at that, guys. 210, 16 gusting winds. Oof, wow. Broken 5,000, overcast 23, QNH 1007. Alright, let's, thank you for that. So we're going to set this to 1007, and we'll set it over here as well. Otherwise, we're going to get the master caution. Guys, look at this view here. Just how the sun, the clouds, and the sun, and the lighting. Look at that. That is a phenomenal view. Wow. see the rain on the windshield here. And we are now approaching our destination. We're going to keep the engine NTIs for the time being. And if we look at our flight plan, 7,065.55, and I believe there is another restriction. Once we are there, then we decel, and we need to be at 1,000 feet at this final fix there. Oh guys, just look at this magnificent looking scene, and it looks like it's going to be seriously very rough as we arrive. Omri Liran, welcome aboard. Which graphic driver do you have? I have the latest one that NVIDIA released, I believe yesterday, August the 9th, and I'll tell you, it is by far the best NVIDIA driver for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Very, very good. Dougal McTavish, welcome aboard, my friend. Wow, look at that, guys. That's just really incredible looking scene here as we go through these clouds. And we're going to leave the engine NTIs on until right before we land. Wow. Screenshot material right there. Man, if this was on a real flight, it would be really scary, I tell you. Wow. All right, we're almost there now. Hopefully we will, you know, hopefully we don't have to do a go-around. And, yeah, we're definitely almost there now. Getting closer. And if we look here, 6,055, we're looking okay. The runway is somewhere right about here. And we have Alpha Mike has just become a subscriber. Welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you for your support, and thank you for becoming part of the Q8 Pilot family. I appreciate it. Right, we're going to go ahead and turn on the landing system now on both sides. What a beautiful approach into Rio de Janeiro, and very cloudy day. That's the second restriction, as you can see here, at 5,500. Lovely. And folks, we've been flying for about 43 minutes, and we've got just a... Oh, we have with us Rob Sandbach, has just become a VVIP member. Rob, welcome aboard to the exclusive group of VVIP members here at the Q8 Pilot channel. Thank you very much, sir, for your support. I appreciate it very much, and I'm glad to have you as part of the growing family here on the Q8 Pilot channel. Welcome, my friend. All right, let's see if my certification will remain intact after we land, or it's going to be revoked. We'll see about that. B Squad, welcome aboard. How are you doing, my friend? Oh, 5 a.m. Oh, jeez. Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you. Great to be aboard, and thank you for the information and entertaining channel. Well, thank you, sir, for being here. I really appreciate it. 5,500, ladies and gentlemen. This is the restriction that we are going to maintain until for about 3.6 nautical miles or so. And then we'll begin the descent further. You can see that the aircraft is definitely struggling to to maintain the speed. Wow, what just the approach is just, we're all clouds. So far we're doing okay, and the engine anti-icing system is doing what it's supposed to do. Any prediction for the landing rate, guys? If things go wrong, I can debrief you in Discord. Absolutely. Wow, just look at this approach, guys. By the way, it would have been a lot nicer if there were no clouds, I'll give you that. Because this approach is just exceptionally beautiful around the mountains of Rio de Janeiro. And there is also the very famous monument of Christ on top of the mountain. And we'll be able to actually see it if it wasn't so cloudy. On this approach, actually, you'll be able to see it. It's probably somewhere right here. But yeah, I think the clouds are going to make it a little more interesting as we come into land and make the difficult approach even more difficult. We can swim, that's for sure. I flew the Fenix into Santos yesterday. How did that go, Dougal? Don't try to butter in SBRJ. Yeah, I agree with you. I've actually, the two landings that I've done as a test were pretty hard landings, I must say. I think one of them was 300 FPM and the other was, I think, 280 FPM, something like that. So they were pretty firm landings, but that's the only way I could actually stop the aircraft on the runway. It's a very, very short runway, and I'll tell you, those kind of approaches are the ones I really like. But you know, sometimes, you know, I'm so concerned with giving you guys a good show, and you know, just messing things up at the very end, I'm sure is not something that you guys are here to you know, that you're here to see. You're here to see a good show. So I sometimes on streams just things go wrong, and unfortunately you cannot undo it. Whereas, you know, when you're recording a video, you can always go back and re-record. Or which runway are you landing? We're landing 20 left. By the way, if we look here, let me just show you guys real quick. So the runway is right here. This is the runway right here. That's the runway. That's the final fix we have. And this is the runway. So here, we're going to make a turn. We should be at a maximum of 160 knots right here according to our approach plate, and then we're going to make the turn to I believe 160 degrees, no, 160 knots, and then reduce, once we have the runway inside, reduce to 140 Hopefully this is the decel point right here. So I think we should be fine. Look at the rainbow there. We can see the rainbow. Alright, and we're going to go to 20 nautical mile range now. Beautiful. Just really a beautiful approach. Definitely, Hong Kong is that Kai Tak? A good show is showing a range of experience, good or bad, in my humble opinion. Well, Steph, thank you very much. That's you guys are just really a great bunch of folks that continuously encourage me and motivate me to do even more for all of you. And I thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. 2 rainbows, that's true. And look at all the rain now. Jeez. Alright, if we take a quick look here at our flight plan, and this is 5655, and this is the decel point, so we're going to begin reducing, descending to 2400, and then then we begin the descent towards the runway. So it's going to be very imperative that we keep the altitudes right during this approach. Lovely. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, look at that view. That is a sensational view of Rio de Janeiro as we approach the airport. That is just simply beautiful. Gotta love flying in South America. Did you see my message, Captain? Which message? I'm sorry, speed check. Not sure how that worked, maybe in quotes. Could I ask, how do you pan the different internal cameras from cockpit to wing? Oh, I've set up my own custom view, so you can hit Control Alt 1 through 0 to set up your view, and then you hit Alt and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 0 on not on the numpad but on the regular keyboard, and that will give you your saved preset. So those are presets that I've created. See, Alt 2, for example. So this is it, and you can just move with your mouse the keyboard, and then you can say Alt Control and then hit the number, and it will save that view for you. What is that? Alright, there we go. Oh, look at that, it's raining. Lots of rain. Oh, just look at that. Alright. We're now approaching top descent. As you can see, we are now descending. And we are almost there now, ladies and gentlemen. So I am going to get ready now. Rashid Yassin, good evening to you, my friend. If you're landing left runway, then you can't butter it at all. That's the shortest. It's crazy short. Absolutely, yes. It is very, very short. So I'm sure that we will not be able to butter it, but I'm going to try to attempt to land it the first time without going around. That's the aim. So whatever number we get, I'll take. By the way, folks, here's the runway right here. You can see it now. And that's us right there. If I zoom in a little bit here. There we are, right there. And now we continue the descent. The aircraft is keeping the correct profile for the altitude, which is an encouraging sign. All right, let me just reset the view here real quick. All right, perfect. Oh, just guys, look at that. What a beautiful looking scene here. Look at that. Wow, this looks sensational. Alright, we're going to switch to the 10 nautical mile range. This looks fantastic, guys. I absolutely adore the look and feel of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Just wow. Very, very immersive indeed. Alright, we are entering the 10 nautical mile range now. And that here is the basically the decel point. I see the aircraft is reducing speed. Speed check. And yeah, I think it's going to go to about 170. Speed check, flaps 1. We should actually configure the aircraft fully before our final turn. Wow, it's going to be very violent, guys. Look at that. Jeez. Alright. Let's take a quick look at... why is this not moving? I somehow lost the mouse there. 241477. Alright, 1477. Okay. So we are going to go to approach. Here's the turn. All right. Speed check. Right, and the landing gear is going down. By the way, all right, caught it in time. All right, that's the runway right there. Wow, guys, look at this beautiful approach into Rio de Janeiro. And that's the last waypoint right there.
1,000.
All right, and at this point, I am going to disconnect the autopilot, my aircraft. What is it complaining about? Ah. All right, that's better. Too high, without a doubt.
Sink rate. Sink rate.
What a beautiful approach. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, runway 20 left.
Sink rate. Sink rate.
Some crosswind there for sure.
Fifty, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Woo. Stop, 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 stop. Well, at least we at least we made it safely, guys. But that was I just lost complete control of the aircraft on touchdown. The winds are very, very violent, and geez, that was pretty nice. That was really cool. By the way, I don't have the landing rate. You guys only have it, but I almost actually gave it full throttle and took off again. But I guess you know, we've made it safely here. Welcome to Rio de Janeiro, ladies and gentlemen. Who just landed? We'll take a look at the replay in just a minute here. But that was really a beautiful approach. And I know it was a big mess there. I think minus 174. Really? Well, it's not bad. That's all right. But that would have been an aviation accident there on the airport. Can we see a replay? Of course. Of course we'll see the replay. But I'm not going to turn off the engines yet so that we can do the replay. So let's bring up the flight recorder. I'm going to move it to my other monitor. Let's stop the recording. And what we'll do is we'll load it up now and take a look at the recording. Minus 194. Actually, that's not bad. The passengers enjoyed it. All right, let me load up the... let me load... All right, date modified is the first one. So, what did we call it? SB... something. Why is it not showing? Ah. Looks like my keyboard is... Looks like... I hope this file will load. Alright, here we go.
Pull up.
Alright. So this is the approach. And let's take a look here at the outside. Just look at this beautiful approach, ladies and gentlemen, into Rio de Janeiro. Crosswinds can be hard for a pilot to land. Can you keep it on the wheels? Yeah, of course. We'll do a couple of... And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the replay of our famous landing here at Rio. Alright, let me do this one more time. I'm not going to do it. Alright, so let's take a look at the... there we can do that. Wow, what a beautiful approach into Rio. That is just sensational. Look at that. Let's do it again. Oops. What did it do? Alright, here we can go here. Alright. Play that. made a mess of it, but we brought it down safely. And right here, probably the emergency vehicles would have come to us to rescue us. But it looks like it was getting dark. Yeah, for sure. Duncan, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. What a great destination. I need to go. Yet, absolutely. Thanks, Steve. By the way, what we can do, folks, is this. Let's go right here. And here's what we'll do. This is the runway. Let's put it a little up. And here. And the camera is stopped there. Alright, here's what we'll do. We are going to bring the aircraft back a little bit. Alright, here we go. That's us. Maybe we'll move the camera a little bit. What do you guys think? Yeah, let's move the camera right about here. Yeah. All right, let's do it here. Exactly what I wanted to do. All right. Tell you, the landing itself wasn't bad, but the control on the ground was not up to the mark. I'll tell you. But yeah. Definitely, Fred. May I have to get the maintenance to check the entire aircraft and the health of the passengers as well. And hopefully they won't sue LATAM Airlines for, causing them emotional stress during this flight into Rio de Janeiro. Hopefully the passengers have enjoyed the approach more than the landing in this flight. All right. We can do this. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is it really for our short show today. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this live stream as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. It's been really lovely flying in the South American continent in the last 3 streams or so. I really am enjoying getting to know all of these countries, and I have been also reading about Brazil, Argentina, Chile, learning a little bit about the culture of those really beautiful countries and the beautiful people that live in that part of the world. I sure do hope that one day I'll be able to make it there in person and enjoy the beautiful scenery. At the end and conclusion of our live stream, I can only we have aircraft there. All right, so it's going to keep repeating. So the only thing remaining for me to say is, as it is always the case, until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. I will see you all very soon. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Stay safe, and bye-bye for now.